Okay, so here we are at Jeff deValk's pad. Is this Vanier technically or no?
Overbrook.
Overbrook.
But I
Okay.
tell people it's Vanier.
I tell people my place is Vanier. It's technically something else, but
I feel like it gives me more cred.
I almost don't. I just too many people have said, "Wait a minute, that's Vanier, isn't it?" And it's like, no, well, not technically, but yeah, I guess so. It may as well be. But anyways, that doesn't matter. Only reason I say that is because the other board I did is my neighbor who lives right beside me, and it's like this is going to be like the third board I do in the Vanier area.
Right.
So we'll see. We'll see.
Represent.
I might go online to Kijiji and see if I can find some randos and see if somebody will show me their pedal board. So this is really simple. You're going to just take me through the pedal board. You've probably spent like piles of money and tons of hours like fiddling with cables to try to get this to like right. So walk me through it. Just take me through it.
Okay, well, obviously the tuner is the most important pedal on the board.
What do those do?
What do? They make you sound crappy.
Right.
If only one pedal existed, it would be a tuning pedal.
Okay.
So obviously that's number one. It's just that the polytune, like in terms of like money spent, I've definitely tried to keep it as low cost as possible, even though there's some like what you might say are expensive pedals on here. But we'll go through that. So next is the compressor.
What do we got here?
That's a tone corset 4-knob compressor, which is the only pedal on this board that I purchased brand new.
Oh, really?
The now defunct St. John's Music, where I used to have a little bit of a discount from somebody.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so it's pretty nice. I'm a knobs at noon guy. I have a theory that pedal designers
try to find a sweet spot
at noon, and it seems to be pretty reliable.
You know what? I have a similar philosophy on it, so that's interesting. So that's, let's start there and then start making it wild.
Sure, that's your base point, and then you can branch out from there.
Anyway, like if it sounds like shit at that spot, it's probably not going to be very good.
Yeah, totally.
In other places. Okay, cool.
So compressor is always on.
Okay.
That's the only one that's always on. I used to not really understand why anybody would have a compressor, and I was like, oh, it'll kill your dynamics. But I really like having a compressor now, and I find it's very...
What does it do for you? Like, it's always on, so what is it doing for you?
Well, it's... Okay, so this particular one, the reason I like it is because it has a blend knob.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I've had other compressors that are like, it's all compressor sound. But this one is like...
So you can blend it.
It's mixed 50-50 as it sits right now between a dry signal and a compressor.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So, well, it's just like basically what a compressor does is, it just like, it takes the extremes out.
Yeah.
And in this case, it also is the way I have it set up, it's also providing a little bit of a clean boost almost.
Okay. So you got a little, it sort of brings up the highs a little bit too, eh?
A little bit. There's supposed to be
awesome.
There's supposed to be a pad switch on it, but it's fucked, so there's not a pad switch on it anymore. Pad would be like if I plugged a humbucker into it,
okay.
I don't really play humbuckers too much.
Yeah, right.
Although this one, now that we say that, has humbuckers in it, but they're kind of different. Anyway,
nice.
Single coilless humbuckers.
Look at this! Look at this guitar. It's very sexy. The gold and the white.
Oh yeah,
that's really nice. Cool, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's good to know. For the longest time, I didn't really know what a compressor did, so that's helpful.
It takes your if you have your sound wave with big spikes on it. It just squishes it and brings everything closer together.
Yeah, but what I didn't realize is that I always thought it was just gonna sort of quiet the loud stuff, but it changes the EQ too, because it brings up if you've got subtle harmonic content, it's gonna if it's low, it's gonna make that seem larger.
Totally, yeah,
it's gonna change the EQ.
Yeah.
So
it does a little bit. It's not amazingly, but we did hear in the room. I don't know if you can hear it on the recording, but it certainly with this guitar anyway pushes the high end just a little bit.
Yeah, it's cool.
So yeah. Anyway, knobs at noon seems to be, or I guess because it's facing that way, it's like knobs at
3. Sure.
Anyway, cool. That's a nice pedal. Electro Harmonics makes lots of good stuff, I think.
I agree, totally.
And it's all pretty low cost. Then from there, I'm going into this guy, which I almost always have.
Which one do you pick? Which are you?
Fuzz face mode.
Oh, nice. Okay.
This is the only one.
I have the same pedal, and I think it's, and I have the legit originals, and it sounds like dead on.
I think the one thing that this guy doesn't do.
Sorry, I don't have a Maestro, but I've got something pretty close to a Maestro.
I don't have much use for the other settings. The Maestro is kind of like spazzy sounding.
Yeah.
You know, and the octave is the Octavia is obviously like it's got an octave in there. Sometimes I'll fool around with them, but in like an actual like I'm out in the world playing guitar scenario, almost never do I touch those.
Cool. So here we have the Noon Fuzz. Cool.
Yeah. So this I will dial in with the amp before I start playing. Usually, like I'll kind of get it to be so that it's not really a volume boost. It's more of just a tone changer.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So you're not using it to crush the front of your preamp on
No, like maybe a little bit, but
right.
But typically no. I play clean more often.
Right.
So like my default sound is like both of these off, and then these are both used as. Sometimes I'll use this as getting ahead of ourselves here as a clean boost.
Cool.
Believe it or not.
So while we're there, may as well talk about that for 1 second.
Sure.
Because this has everything to do with how you set up your pedal board and whatnot. So when you're setting up your amp, and you're playing through what is that, a reverb?
That's a deluxe reverb, yeah.
And so typically, like your clean sound, is it like just on the? You just keep it close to the edge of breakup, or where do you like to?
I would say that I put it at the lowest volume where I'm getting on this particular amp. There's a certain basically above 3.
Yeah.
Or I should say below 3. The tones, it just doesn't sound like the amp. Like anything below 3 is it sounds very weak and
right.
Much,
it's not starting to cook yet.
Yeah, it doesn't have much. I would say like the bass response is very lacking, which in some situations is okay, but generally speaking, I want to have more of that.
Yeah, right.
So 3, 4 is usually where I set that amp. More than that, in a live setting, it's too much volume.
Yeah, they're amazing that way, eh?
Yeah, and then so then any kind of grit or dirt will come from pedals typically.
Okay, cool. Because some people like to, have some people have it set up that their amp is like pretty clean, and then all you can hear is like the grit coming from the pedal. Yeah. Some people hate that, and some people love that. And I'm kind of on the fence depending on the pedal type. Yeah. And the amp, and it depends,
These are the ones that the 2 drive pedals are, if I make changes, I'll pull those out, but I haven't for a long time now. I have a Soul Food and a Timmy as well. Mm-hmm. But I don't know, just...
You don't really need it with this,
No, with these 2, I feel like I have most bases covered because the Tube Screamer can, depending on where you set my one beef with it is I have to write like with a marker, like which side is which. This is drive, this is left. I gotta put a big fucking D here and a big L here because I can never fucking see it. Because you see the shadow falls right over, and it's so light. Like you can't, you know what I mean? Like my eyesight is just perfectly fine, but you can't.
No, I don't know what
I'm going to do that right after you leave.
No, don't write on it. Please put a sticker on it or something.
Anyway, all right. Anyway, it's just a reissue. It's no big deal. So, so these 2 I do a lot of tweaking with. Most of the other stuff I have settings that I like, and I keep them there. These ones I move around a lot. Okay. So the way it's set up right now, this is like lead guitar sound, I would say, like rock lead guitar, which means drive is at 75. Level is at 25%.
So it's like unity gain kind of overall?
Yeah, basically it's almost like, this is the way that I'm told you're not supposed to use a Tube Screamer, which is using this as a master volume for the drive to like make it a distortion, right? Whereas the opposite way to use it is to have this dialed way back and the level boosted.
You know what I've heard other people say this is how you're supposed to use it.
Right,
you gotta use it how it sounds good to you. Like whatever you do.
What I think
like
too.
For me, I set everything at noon on this, and it sounds awesome. Actually, the only thing I do on mine is I crank this up to like something like that, and I keep this like somewhere around here. But I like it to cry a little bit or whatever, but. I've heard people say, well, you use it like a Tube Screamer, meaning like no drive, all level.
Right, so
it's like, well, why not use a booster if you're going to do that?
Sure. So this way to use it is like the.
Anyways, I don't know what I did to your
Oh,
settings
it doesn't
here.
matter. It doesn't matter. Like I say, I tweak this all the time. So
Yeah.
like you know, if I'm setting up for a gig right now, so I'll be like, okay, here's my clean volume, and I would probably want to use this as like, let's say a little bit of a distortion situation.
Yeah.
A tone changer, right?
Yeah. Like for like a solo kind of setting.
Maybe even a little bit of volume boost.
Yeah.
And then
they're such an awesome pedal. They're just
and then these
so
two
amazing.
together work nicely a lot of times. So
That's filthy. That's so filthy.
that's
eh?
also a good, especially with a little bit of delay. That's a nice, or can be. It's not. I wouldn't say it's dialed in perfectly right now, but it can. These two together can be a really nice slide guitar tone.
Go back.
Okay, so yeah, these are the ones that I do the most fiddling with for sure. And then that goes out into this guy, which is this.
Those are hard to come by. The CE2.
This was a miracle. Someone gave that to me.
What?
Yeah, and it's a silver screw one, which means it's the very first one that they made.
Well, CE2 is like they started the CE3s back in like 84
I think
or something
79
like that.
was the first year these came out. 79.
Yeah, I'm just saying when they would have switched over,
Right.
and I think all the silver screw stuff is like up to like 83, 84 or something.
So. Anyway, I really like this one, and interestingly, it has a little bit of a volume boost too. Like,
Yeah.
speaking of tuning pedals,
Let's hear it. Because I have a CE3, and I did some mods to it to try to get it to the CE2 sound.
by the way, the gimmick with this tuning pedal is you can go like this and shut, but I never use that feature.
Yeah.
Anyway, I use these strobe. So yeah, this is another knobs at noon situation.
Wow. It's in like mint condition, dude.
I had to do a little repair on it when I got it, but it works fine.
It sounds amazing.
The power jack was broken and it was intermittently working.
Okay.
I just super glued it together and it was fine.
Well done.
So that's a classic. I use that one lots for sure. You wouldn't think it would have that many applications, but I use it a lot.
Well, it's a good sounding chorus. It's hard to find a good sounding chorus.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, they're very expensive now. I was lucky enough to not have to. I would never buy one. Like if never would I do that for what they want for them. Good lord,
I know it's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I think
it's
they're
pretty
going for
obscene.
like $350 or some crazy.
that's too much. But now that I say that, the next pedal is this one, which I think I paid $200 for. Which is
DM2,
which is a delay. So this is another knobs and noon. I don't know what, like I'm saying, like all of these pedals have a I think these even have a similar or maybe even the same chip in them.
They do, I think. Yeah, I can't remember the LM.
So this is
amazing.
This is one that I would use in like a soloing situation, I would say.
Right.
And I kind of don't care about the timing relative to like the tempo of the song. It doesn't
Right.
seem to matter too much. It's more of like it's like an extra.
It almost sounds a bit reverby, eh?
Well, that's exactly it. Yeah. Versus
Amazing. Very cool.
Anyway, so
Very
that's the
cool.
front row. That's the stuff that I use the most often. That's why it's there.
Right.
And then these guys up here are like the the computer brain box things here.
I don't really know a lot about Strymon. I know people go wild about it.
Well, this was like I had
Like, what are they? Are they like multi-effects? Like, what are they?
This is a reverb and this is a delay.
Oh, okay.
And then essentially they I A/B'd the Bucket Brigade sound in this versus this, and I can't tell the difference.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just some guy, but so the only reason they're on there is because of just finding can't afford not to get deals on them.
Like you saw them go up on Kijiji.
Yeah,
I must have.
Yeah, exactly. It was like I think I had there's a smaller form factor version of this, which is just like it has fewer features.
Okay.
But it sounds about the same.
Okay.
Stereo in and out, blah blah blah. But I ended up finding this one for the same price that actually I think I made $50. I bought this one for $50 less than I sold the smaller one for. So
good.
So that was nice.
Cool.
But most of the time I just have it on the tank reverb setting.
Okay.
For recording, I definitely explored a bit more. There's all kinds of crazy sounds in it. But it's probably way more than I need. But it fits on the board and it sounds good. And this one in particular is nice because it has a cab simulator in it.
Okay.
Normally I'm a 2-amp guy, but every once in a while your 2-amp dies on you.
Right.
And so there's a little switch on the back that you can go directly into a
PA or something
from the output of that pedal,
right?
Which is pretty nice.
Yeah, that's useful if you're in a pinch.
It is. It's like a save your ass kind of thing, right? Which actually happened to me last week, and I used it, and it was all right. It's not as good, but it's it doesn't a pinch. And then this guy is basically a delay unit with, I don't know, anything and more you could ever dream of wanting in a delay pedal. It has has a tape simulator. It has as I mentioned before, a Bucket Brigade simulator. It has I think both of them have 99 banks in them of presets saved, and you can also save over all of them if you want. So there's does
that get crazy to you though?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like when you have these things on your pedal, you're 99% of it is kind of just probably never gonna use it,
Oh, 100%. Like I said, I sometimes
they're studio toys. They're more like studio
100%,
toys.
100%,
Yeah.
and that has been my experience with them for sure. Is that I have used them, in a few studio sessions a million times more than I use them across hundreds of gigs. But
I'm not dissing your pedals.
No.
I'm just saying I have some pedals that have multi effects. I have a Canyon,
yeah?
PHX Canyon,
Whoa.
and it does all kinds of awesome stuff. But it's I'm not gonna bend over in a show and start finding another setting.
I have a couple of settings. For example, this one I forget what bank it is, but I think it maybe it's bank 2 or it's bank 3. Yeah, there you go. So I made what I thought was a good sounding tape echo and a good sounding just straight digital quarter note, because those are the two that I would conceivably use. Right. But there's a wheel with here's a digital dual pattern reverse ice duck. I don't know if this makes quack sounds or something.
No, the duck thing, it ducks out of your playing.
Of course, yeah.
Right?
Oh, okay. A little dad joke there.
Okay, sorry.
Imagine your sound goes.
Well, there are pedals that do that. They're called Q-trons and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah. Envelope filters that actually quack away all the time. But
so these two spots are also kind of the guest spot. Sometimes if I feel I want to have, speaking of a Q-tron, I have a Boss Auto Wah, which is of course our city's pedal. Right.
That's another cornball for you guys.
I'll pop one of these out and put something different.
Yeah, right.
So the one thing
So these are sort of easily accessible. You can pull them off. Do you Velcro your board?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I have, and I'm also I've at various times felt like I should get a bigger one, but I refuse to get a bigger pedal board. I will not get a bigger pedal board because come on, You know, get a grip, Jeff. How many pedals do you need?
That's the problem with this sickness, though. Is that you can't.
Well, you have to
can.
place constraints on it. You know,
I know.
if you don't, it's just you go. Like I've seen people play and they have like something that's like this is a quarter of the size. And it's like, okay, man. Like, all right.
Yeah,
First
it
of all,
gets
obviously
ridiculous.
you work in a guitar store.
Yeah.
Second of all, good lord.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, so yeah, getting back to the Strymons, definitely they're overkill for what I use them or don't use them for. I don't even really use delay that much, but again, it was like, okay, you know, I wanted to have a tap tempo delay. That was the main thing.
Yeah, that's nice to have.
And actually, the other one that I had on my board for a really long time, which who knows, maybe I'll even put it back on.
Well, that's going to bring me to another question.
Up on the beach shelf here.
What do
This
you got
one.
there?
It's a TC Electronic Nova delay.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Which is like, in terms of, it's been around for a long time. It sounds great. It has that, what is the one? They came out with one of the first rack mount delays, I believe, back in the 80s.
Oh, really?
And
Ibanez?
it has no, TC Electronic. So it has that sound in it, and it has a bunch of other stuff. This is great because it's a heck of a lot smaller than this, and it's got pretty much everything you need, stereo in and out, and it sounds good. Has a bunch of presets on it. So in terms of like, because it's smaller, like, man, I don't know, this or this, like this is at least twice as expensive as this, maybe 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's a good one.
Nice. So, how long has this pedal board been in this condition, like this format?
A fairly long time. This has been like this for a fairly long time. This pedal here.
Like, what does that mean, though?
Recent. I would
Like
say
like 2 months?
no,
2 years?
not 2 years. Definitely less than a year. I would say it's been like this since. This is the most recent edition, which I probably got. I got in the middle of the pandemic.
Okay.
So that was the other than that, I think there was a tremolo instead, which actually I kind of miss, and I think I might switch back because I don't need to have 2 delays, and this has this sound on it.
Right.
So probably it's been in this form for 6 months to a year.
Well, that's pretty good.
If you don't count this going on it 6 months ago.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I'm trying. I mean, like, you know, it's all, as much as they're toys, it's all just, there's stuff that, like, if one of these pieces wasn't here, I would miss it, except for maybe the delays. Everything else, I would miss it and be like, shit, I'm not getting what I need. Oh, and then of course, last but not least, is the looper, which is very, very simple and works great. And I use it on solo gigs. Sometimes if I'm with a drummer, I'll use it as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so, yeah, the tremolo is the only thing that I would say this board doesn't have to make it a total utility board that I could play into an amp, just like, for example, the Bassman over there, and have everything I would ever conceivably need, even though I don't use tremolo that much.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Like this, I'm duplicating here, so.
Right. Very nice.
Yeah, that's kind of, oh, and then my also pandemic upgrade was putting the custom cables on it.
Oh, nice. The flat pancake stuff is awesome.
Yeah,
right?
and it's like,
They take like no space.
of course, there's so many like connections, and each connection is another opportunity for something to go wrong. So like,
Yeah.
I was using the what do you call it? You know, the no solder ones where you screw them.
Yeah,
Anyway, they're
they
garbage.
fail.
They're garbage.
Yeah.
But these I got from Next Gen Guitars in Ottawa.
Yeah, they're awesome.
They are awesome.
I love those guys.
So great that we have this like guitar store.
I'm so
guitar
happy
parts
for it
store.
too. Yeah.
And I think they're doing good business.
I hope they stay in business. I go to them a lot.
Yeah.
Very cool. So does your pedal board have a name? Probably not.
I know, but no, it doesn't have a name. But the board itself I've had for probably 7 or 8 years now. So I probably should give it a name. And it came with this power supply, which has never failed me and is amazing.
Nice. What is that?
It's a T-Rex Chameleon.
Oh,
And
cool.
it has the compressor heatsink on it because it does get pretty warm.
Oh, cool.
It failed one time in a full sun gig on Wasaga Beach 2
Oh.
years ago on Canada Day, and it was like 40 degrees, and I was playing in the full sun, and there was like, enough's enough, I'm out.
No way.
Other than that, it's been fine. It just, I'm sure it has like a heat timeout on it so it doesn't burn itself out.
Right.
Like a power tool kind of thing.
Right.
How about Little Red? We can call it that.
Sure. Little Red.
Little L-I-L. Little Red.
Very cool.
Yeah, good board.
Nice. So I'm trying to think if there was anything else I wanted to ask. Oh, so you're not like hoarding pedals then?
Well, I do have. This is where, and then there's my B shelf up here, which I can give you a quick.
Yeah,
tour
give me a
of.
quick look, because like I'm like a hoarder of pedals, and I get questions like. Is that another pedal? Like, you don't need another pedal.
I'm not at that point yet. I also have like a pretty, not that anybody else's wife isn't cool, but she kind of lets me do my thing as long as the mortgage gets paid.
Yeah, right,
you know what I
okay.
mean? But yeah, no, so I've been actually thinking about making a second really simple board.
Yeah.
Like probably with this and this and like maybe the soul food. And
nice.
a reverb, and that would
like
be
a little
that
micro.
would be the whole board.
So it'd be like the little red.
Oh, yeah, the baby red. Right. So
cool.
That's these are, I don't know. Anyway, this is a cool one. That's the only other one in the collection except for the what do you call it? Compressor that I bought new.
Right.
Same deal from.
You can usually find stuff used.
This is a super cool pedal.
What is that? This
is the Line 6 modulation one.
Right.
It has, like, don't waste any money on vintage Boss modulation pedals. Buy one of these because it has everything.
Amazing.
It has the Boss vibrato sound, which is so great.
Nice.
What else we got? Oh, Timmy. We love Timmy. And you have one of these, don't you?
Yep, I do. I have an old one like that.
So great. The only reson this is not on my board is because I can't plug it in. It's a battery pedal.
I can fix that stuff for you. If you have any issues.
Yeah. Anyway.
Just say the word. You know,
this is the first pedal I ever got, and I got it for free.
Oh, they're worth a fortune now. And they sound amazing. Like, they just sound amazing.
Obviously, this is a major classic.
Yes, of course.
Oh, another great tip about these is you can buy an adapter. Like, don't buy one of the proper...
Don't buy the Line 6. It'll take 9 volt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You can use a PSA adapter. All you need is a little... It's $5.
Yeah, I didn't know that until I bought my second one.
Oh, and then this guy is kind of cool. It's a Leslie.
Oh, very cool.
But the nice thing about it is it works as a headphone amp.
Very cool.
Yeah, so
you can stay up here till like 3 a.m.
That's right. Or whatever, yeah, whenever I'm allowed back in the bedroom. Stereo looper.
Right.
Love this one. What else? Oh, yeah, dynamic wah sound. Auto wah, it's a dynamic wah.
It's the auto wah.
Auto wah, that's right.
This is the flange of the 747.
Oh, get out of here!
Very cool.
This was a.
Don't sell that.
This was. I think I got this for $5 in Peterborough in like 2006.
I bet it sounds amazing. I'd love to hear it.
It sounds like equal parts amazing and total garbage.
Yeah, good. Yeah. That's my favorite kind.
It's like awesome garbage. This guy is not too bad. Not teabag. This thing is black magic. It makes buzzy guitars not buzzy anymore.
Nice.
And then last but not least is this guy. So
okay.
Which is nice too.
Very cool.
Anyway, so call it hoarding if you want. I don't know.
That's not a hoard. Trust me. That's very healthy looking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna show my collection one of these days online, and it's gonna be somebody's gonna call the hospital.
Well, like the thing is, I try to turn a little bit of a profit making music, so I try to not. I buy and sell things a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like, out with the old, in with the new.
Yeah, like if there's something that I don't like or I'm not using anymore, like a lot of this stuff is not, most of it is not like collector item stuff.
Yeah,
it's just
right.
like whatever.
Right.
Pretty bought, except for maybe this and maybe the
chorus. Well, who knows? Maybe we'll see that phaser make an appearance on the board at some point.
It is a beauty pedal. I used to use it all the time. Back in the days before I had a pedal board, and it was just all random pedals, and I assembled it before each gig.
Yeah, you just pull it out of your bag.
Then this thing would make an appearance because it was like, okay, well, it's coming apart anyway, so just take the screws out the back.
All right, cool, dude. Thank you for showing us your pedal board. And,
no problem.
And if you know anybody else that has a pedal board they want to talk about, just say the word. Cheers, buddy.
You got it.